Hi guys, let's pretend this is a secret commando base and okay, I have an image, an aerial image, but I want to, I don't know, create a vector layer of the buildings and start following the buildings and see who gets in and out. How do I do that? So what I want to do is actually digitize, and first I have to create the layer I want. So how do I do that? You see those icons here? Every kind of layer will do, but we will use a shapefile. And when you define the shapefile, the first thing you have to define is the name and position of this new layer, and let's call it cars, which is not the best thing to digitize because it moves, but let's call it cars. And this is the encoding. I have to define a geometry type. For instance, for cars, it could be points, where I will point every car, but it could also be polygons. Maybe I really want to plot the outline of the car. So in this case, we will choose points. And the last thing which is important is to define the CRS. Different regions of the world will use different CRSs, and different scenarios you will use different CRS, but you have to remember to define this part. And the last thing is the attributes table. The attribute table is a table which has columns, and it comes with one column, the ID, but I can add other columns like name. Name is usually text, and 80 is long enough, and I don't know, it could be whatever, but there are three kinds of data here. There are integers, which is number without a digital point, so you have to define again the length, and decimals. Decimals, you define the length and the number of points after the digital point, and each of the columns can only be added, let's call it float, just for instance, after you completed defining the name, the type, and the length. You can add it to the list. Once all of the definitions are complete, you create the layer and it's added to your project. On the next clip, I will demonstrate how to actually make the digitization. We're done. Bye, thanks.